Okay, the first, and I think it's a very popular assumption that women hate other women, but in reality, it's so not true. Like their friendships are so underrated, and the unity that you guys have, it's commendable.
Generally speaking, men believe that women are very good at multitasking as well as are able to work in a chaotic environment. It's a relatively speaking.
That's a tough question, to be honest, because there's so many women, inspirational, strong women in my life that it's very difficult to choose. But of course, first would be my mama. Right? Reason being because she always inspires me, and of course with this hustle bustle, this really busy life, I barely get the chance to have dinner with her. So I'd like to take that opportunity to have a good sit down dinner with her. So mom, number one. Second one, I mean, I would love to have the chance, but unfortunately, she's no more. But of course, on the other side, if I had to get a chance to sit down and chat up in heaven, Kalpana Chawla would be that one, right? She really inspires me because I'm a boy who dreams of the stars, and she's the one who flew right besides them. And yeah, she just inspires me in ways that I can't imagine. So that's her.
Okay, so the first woman that I would like to have dinner with would be Marie Curie, because she was the first woman who won the Nobel Prize. And over dinner it'll be a lot of fun because I'm always curious about science. And at a time and age when like this world was ruled by men, she stood out and found radioactivity, and that's amazing. So it'll be amazing to have dinner with her. The second woman would be J.K. Rowling, because I'm a Potterhead, and it would be amazing over dinner just to catch up with the person who actually built the Harry Potter universe.
Number one on my list would be Serena Williams. She's been one of the greatest tennis players to ever play. I started tennis as a young boy, but I couldn't really wrap my head around the game. So I'd really want to understand how she did what she did it. And the second one would be Greta Thunberg. Again, she's 18 years old and she's been nominated for a Nobel Prize already. At 32 years of age, I'm still wondering when I'll get mine. So that's the two people I'd like to have dinner with.
So I'm a big fan of cricket, and I would choose that from a cricket only. So it's Preeti Mandhana. She's a female cricketer, and she's one of the reasons why this entire society or everybody has started watching female cricket. Okay, earlier everybody used to see men's cricket. They were not aware of what is happening in the females cricket and all those things. But in recent times, everyone knows who is Preeti Mandhana, who is Harmanpreet Kaur, and I feel that she's one of the reasons which has changed my perspective towards cricket and watching female cricket. So I would like to have one dinner with her.
I think the first name which comes in my mind straight away is Maya Angelou, the phenomenal woman, the social rights activist, one of the most renowned Afro-American women who was an epitome of power and voice and rights and whatnot. One of the best books one of her autobiographies, in fact, I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing. I think she's been an inspiration to millions and zillions of women across, not just women, I think for men as well, right? So I think the first name which comes in my mind is Maya Angelou.
So in my team I get to work with a lot of women, and one of the major qualities that I find in women that I work with is that they tend to have work which is in an ideal manner. So I'll give you an example. In general, men tend to accept the way the world is because they have to climb the ladder, right? But in terms of working with women, they tend to make the world in an ideal manner, and that is I think the balance that we need to strike. And maybe that is the way forward, not only for any workplace, but as humanity, for us to go ahead and find a balance between the ideal and the practical manner.
Across my working experiences, I had the privilege of both working with women as well as having women bosses or reporting into them. One aspect that I admire the most in most of my female colleagues has been their innate ability to let's say do a quick context change as well as simplify the complexity to much more manageable levels.
Over the years, the one thing that I have observed is, of of course I could be wrong about this and I don't want any of my male colleagues to take any offense when it comes to this, but my general sense is that typically my women colleagues have been far more focused while doing their work than some of my male colleagues, but yeah, that's been my observation. So that's the one thing that I really admire about them. I have to actually mention one more, right, now that you said. I think generally I find my women colleagues to also be far more empathetic towards their co-workers, colleagues, and also the customers and different stakeholders that they deal with, right? So that's another quality that I think is extremely strong and which is required, that the empathy and also the emotional intelligence which is used is so much more by my women co-workers versus the male co-workers. I think for any organization to run successfully, I think it's very, very important to have diversity of thought, and the diversity of thought just doesn't come from a gender mix, it comes from different things. But I think one very important part also is the right gender mix in leadership roles, right? And that will truly bring diversity to the table and also bring in a lot of strengths and weaknesses, I guess, that both genders have, and we'll be able to balance them off extremely well if we have more women in leadership positions.
The message to all the women at upGrad for Business is that, right from day one, this organization has been built on the strength of women leading it, right? So I think the women people or the women employees are very, very important to the history of upGrad for Business, and I'm sure it will remain so in the future of upGrad for Business. What I really want is more and more women to take up leadership role as we go forward in this next version of our journey, which is going to be very exciting. So that's what I would really look forward to as a strong message to upGrad, all the women at upGrad for Business, that you guys have done a fantastic job. You are very inspirational. We have women at various, in fact the majority in our organization is women, which is great, and I want this to sustain and maintain. And of course, I want to see more and more women in the leadership role. So that's what my message to the women, the fantastic women at upGrad for Business.
Message to all you beautiful women out there, you guys are amazing. You guys are doing an amazing job. From the time that I've started working here, I've got the privilege to work with most of you, and it's been amazing to see how you guys are independent, you guys are supportive and so headstrong, and keep up the amazing work.
Yeah, my biggest message typically to women is take your careers extremely seriously, right? I think that is one of the things that in my experience, of course today India is changing in a big way, but in my experience that's what I've seen. Our male colleagues tend to take their careers slightly more serious than the women, and that's the thing that I keep encouraging all my women colleagues and co-workers to do. Take your careers extremely seriously, because it is going to play a huge role in your own life, for your company, and also for the country at large. Because one of the big problems that India has currently is not enough women in the workforce. That's one of the problems that we have. So yes, I think women, that's my one message. Take your careers extremely seriously. And the second message connected to that is don't put a glass ceiling. Keep breaking the glass ceilings that are there. Believe that you can do it, and believe that you can get to the highest levels of entrepreneurship, the corporate ladder, so on and so forth. And the minute you start believing that you can, you have a better chance of doing it. Right? So those are my two messages.